I am having to work late in the office. So I am taking a dinner break. So what am I having? I'm having my homemade cabbage that I made in a crock pot with onions and carrots and potatoes with a little bit of smoked turkey and a dash of Mrs. Sylvia's. Yummy. And a side of the seasoned rice that I made with the gravy that I made in honor of Auntie Fee. So I just took a little bit of the gravy and just put it over my rice. Feeling very geechy right now. So bon appetit for me. Hey guys, this is Shawn Sandridge, and guess what? I haven't done one of these videos in a long time in my office. So, hello, how you doing? Happy Tuesday. I am working late. I have got my food, and I just thought, you know what? I've got to do some billing, and I kind of don't have the brain to do it right now. So I thought this is a good time for me to eat, because it's, I think, better when I've eaten, and I would talk to you guys. We haven't done this in a long time. You know, I've got employees now, so I don't do much of this anymore because there's always someone in the office. So let's catch up and do an office vlog. So I wanted to talk to you about something, and that was, have reality shows jump the shark? So the first thing I wanted to do is say thank you for stopping by my channel. Hit that like button, share, tell a friend about me. We're gonna have a good time. So I'm gonna try not to keep this very long, but I titled this "Have Reality Shows Jump the Shark?" So the first thing you need to know is what jumping the shark is. And if you've been around for a while, you've probably heard this term, but if you haven't heard this term before, it used to be used a lot. And so what I wanted to do, I'm looking at my computer right now, I wanted to give you the definition of jumping the shark so that we can kind of get a context of what I'm trying to say. So, jumping the shark is a negative expression to say that something that was once good has now peaked and has taken a severe downturn in quality or usefulness. To jump the shark is the same as saying this once good thing has now become absurd or dragged out, or this has crossed over into stupidity and uselessness. Now, TV has changed a lot, and I don't want to get into the history of it, but because I don't want to keep this very long, but the thing is that there used to be a formula of when TV would start. Like January was pilot season, then of course you would have the fall lineup, and then they would take a break, and then during the right before the holidays would be 2 solid weeks of just great television watching. And that was really where the writers would come up with their best stories, and it would be peak, I think it was like peak week. And it would, peak season was in right before the holidays, and peak season was also in March. So you would have like three weeks of these great stories. And then of course you would have the finale season, which would happen right before the summer. And then you really would just be in reruns until, you know, the fall lineup, where, you know, who shot JR, you would not find out for months until, you know, the new season started. TV doesn't follow that format anymore. So the term jump the shark would be used when essentially writers would run out of material, and things that just didn't seem in the structure or the content of the show, you would know like it's the beginning of the end. So sometimes it would be something really, really absurd. Sometimes it could be like a couple who had a lot of sexual tension would get together, and then it was like it's over. Sometimes it can be, I know, like if you Google jump the shark moments, one of them was, I think number 2 is Roseanne, when Roseanne and the family won the lottery. Like, this was a low middle class family, a hardworking low middle class family, and now they came into money. Well, that kind of changes the dynamic of the family. So that made them jump the shark. But there can be small moments of jumping the shark where a character is so far-fetched or something that they do is so far-fetched. So that's the context that I wanted to put in. Has reality shows jumped the shark? Because back in the day, reality shows was birthed from the writer's strike, and there was no TV, and so this is where the Real World came in. Your Tammy Roman, she's part of that time. This is where Paris Hilton and Nicole Ritchie started out in reality shows, and essentially it was a social experiment. You essentially would have people and you give them situations and you watched to see what happened. And then, through psychology, you have a list of questions that you interview people, and then you have the dynamics of how is this person going to respond based on the way they answer questions. How would they respond with this person who is, maybe antagonistic? And so you have a script, but it wasn't scripted. You just let things happen. So that's where reality TV came. Now with everything coming out and people are doing crazy things to stay relevant, has reality show jumped the shark? All you have to do is start watching shows from its birth, whether it's the Real Housewives franchise, the Love and Hip Hop franchise, the Bad Girls Club franchise, even Big Brother franchise, their series. When you look at when it first started compared to where it is now, it is completely different. And it's so absurd with some of the storylines. Some of it is real as far as the outlandish things that they will go to stay relevant, but also there are some things that that, like, where is this coming from? Like, they're so outlandish, and of course Love and Hip Hop is probably the most outlandish ones of them, because there used to be a lot of realism, and maybe they use the producers to guide people, but now there's certain scenes that you can just tell is completely manufactured. So have reality shows jump the shark in that way? And then I want to know, what did you think about this? I wanted to know, when was there a time where people gave out plot lines? Now, back in the day with reality shows, there was like a clause, in your contract, kind of like a gag order, where you could not talk. Now, this happens a lot in scripted shows, but there was a time in reality shows where you could not talk about what would happen, because that was tethered to your salary. And like, Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire, you could not find out who he picked because you were bound by that clause, otherwise you wouldn't get your money. And I miss those days, because you see a lot of things playing out in social media and there's no consequences, and then when the show comes on, it's like, why am I even watching it? I mean, I already know, because I saw it play out in real time through social media. And like, when did the gag clause get removed? I would kind of like that, so I could authentically be shocked when something happens, because I'm seeing it and hearing it for the first time. So that just came to my mind about reality shows. Have they all jumped the shark? And if you don't, think that they've jumped the shark. Let me know in the comments why you don't think they have jumped the shark. And are they flatlining? Because unless you're gonna, it seems like unless you do something really outrageous, it almost starts to be like, I don't know. I don't know what the right word is, but when, are the ratings are going to go down so much that they just, they're flatlining and they canceled the show. I mean, I know outlandish stuff wins, but sometimes it's so outlandish that you just don't decide to, you just don't decide to tune into the channel. So without rambling any further, and I want to eat my dinner, let me know what you think about what I just said. And let me know what shows you think have jumped the shark. So let's have a nice, fun discussion. I've got a couple of hours work to do in a conference call. I hope you're having a great evening. Take care of yourself and each other, and I will talk to you soon, in a few days. Talk to you soon. Bye.